women's rights activist Brinda Adige joining us on the phone line. Brinda, please tell us, women becoming victims of these kind of gory crimes. You often hear a woman being chopped into pieces, hardly a man. Not too sure if this is because of physical strength or what it is, but more number of women becoming victim to this kind of aggression posed. Possibly the man is sick, I'm not doubting that, but how safe are women in this scenario?
No, women are not safe in this scenario or in any other scenario. But it becomes even more difficult and women become even more vulnerable, especially when that crime is committed by the spouse, a boyfriend or a partner, because it is inside the home, inside the house. And we just heard on your channel that this couple never came out, did not interact with anybody. But did this woman have a family? Did she share anything with her family? Because we are a largely patriarchal society and live-in partners or this kind of a living is not acceptable by everybody. Even if a wife complains, we don't take it seriously. So the crime committed against women is rarely looked at in a serious fashion as a crime. Usually people use words like crimes of passion, as if it reduces the enormity of the murder. And part of the blame must also be on the police, the prosecution and the judiciary, because we hear about the crime, we never hear whether the person got bail, what is the status of the case. After 12, 14 years, we listen to the punishment that may be meted out or the acquittal of the culprit. And it does not show any seriousness for the fear of law. And crimes against women are increasing. It is time that the government takes these issues seriously, but also open avenues where women can speak and these talks and complaints are taken seriously. Look at 112. It is supposed to be an emergency helpline, but even there you cannot talk to women. NCW says that any woman wants can talk to them over the phone. Who is listening to the women on the phone? Nobody.
You know, it's really hard to say how exactly or how far can women really escape a situation like this. Brinda, would you tell us the cases of domestic violence that come from different parts of India, and it's again not a case that's centered around India alone. This is a problem that women face with world over. But how often do cases of such nature come to you as an activist yourself from here?
Yes, Nabila. Domestic violence itself is not considered a police case as per our law. The Domestic Violence Protection Act itself does not say that the police have a role in domestic violence. Now, the fact that it is called domestic violence, the police don't interfere. Of course, there is a protection officer. You can take the matter up to court, and like you mentioned, all over the world. But European countries and Western countries treat it first as violence and then domestic, which means the police have a role, they do interfere, and the police reach that spot, and it is considered threat to life. Here in India, we don't consider it as threat to life. We continue to look at it as violence committed on a spouse by a spouse, and so it requires compromise and it requires some counseling, and of course the family must be kept together. We don't talk about this kind of violence, and that is the biggest danger women face. Domestic violence. Let's define and redefine this correctly, that this is a crime against women and that it must be treated in that manner, and the police must take cognizance of it in that light only. It is assault, it is violence, it is threat to life, and these things mean it is threat to the citizen, a crime committed against the state, not just by a spouse on a spouse or a partner.